I started my banking in 1973, and it was a good time for me at that time because 1973 Bahrain started to open their doors for the international banks, and I started first in the local banks, which was Habib Bank. At that time also Habib Bank was not nationalized by the Pakistani government. It was a private bank. And then I moved to American Express for 5 years. Then after that American Express, I moved to what we call it Citibank in the Middle East, which is Arab Banking Corporation. Arab Banking Corporation, I spent 20 years. It opened the doors for me. I came as a manager, AVP, Assistant Vice President, and that was in 1980. And I spent the 20 years with them till 2000. From 2000, Sheikh Saleh asked me to create Barak Banking Group. And with my experience in ABC, both in the traditional banks as well as in the Islamic bank, because I create ABC Islamic Bank, it gave me the opportunity that I work in Barak a little bit easy, i.e. that I know the international side as well as I know the Islamic banking. And I spend now more or less 10 years in Barak Banking Group. And also that while I'm doing also the Islamic banking, also that I'm the chairman of the Union Arab Banks, and how we can combine these. It was for me a kind of a challenge, i.e. how can I sell the Islamic banking to the traditional banking in the Arab world. And by being a chairman, I try to merge the two products together, because Islamic banks and the traditional banks, the difference is just very small things, which is relating to the interest.
Mr. Adnan Yousif is a very honorable banker from Bahrain, and Almighty God brought him to the scene, and he took it upon himself to integrate all the bits and pieces that Sheikh Saleh Kamel has put together into the first ever retail banking system that exists throughout the Muslim countries.
At that time, Barak was operating as a unit, and everybody is focusing on his market. When we create Barak Banking Group, which is the parent, we try to work as a group, like any big institution right now working in the international markets. Islamic banking has proved that they can function in all countries. And having said that, in the past now 5 or 6 years, through the crisis, the Islamic banking continue to grow, both from the asset side as well as from the profit side. Why? Because we go to the real economy. We don't go, for example, in just inflating balance sheets, inflating income. That is not the job of the Islamic banking. Islamic banking, the real job and the real banking is to provide the country, to provide the company, to provide the individual with his need, and we have to see that this money has been spent in the right project, in the right manner. We don't like gambling. We don't like, for example, buying debts, and that's why all the Islamic banking, they were outside the crisis. Islamic banking is the real banking, and I always say that Islamic banking has contributed a lot to the countries they are operating. Where we see the banking right now with all the crises happen both in the Arab countries, in the Muslim countries, in the international market, in the European, in the West, I believe that Islamic banking will stand. My dream for the coming many years is to see the Islamic banking as a product, used worldwide, both for the governments, for companies, and for the individual.